Yeah, it's been an incredible start for Pitt. Set point, Flood serving. And just missed it wide. But there are a multitude of set points remaining for the Panthers. Monks checking back in for Flood. That was a fantastic soccer player. In fact, she thought she would play soccer at the Division I level, but her sophomore season in high school fell in love with volleyball. Good serve. Stafford. Right at Otene. Otene into the block. And a net violation on Georgia Tech will give Pitt the opening set. So the Pitt Panthers come out. And it'll be Fairbanks serving to start the set. Bertolino. First time Georgia Tech has led today.
Bertolino has a ton of range. She came in facing angle like she was going to swing angle, and then was really deceptive. Just dropped her shoulder at the last minute, powered through down the line, tooling the block. 5
kills on 6 swings. Still looking for that first ace. And got it. She can be a difference maker behind the service line. She can absolutely disrupt any team in the country.
It is such an aggressive topspin, such a big wind up, a nice long approach, and then there's so much power behind that swing. It's really difficult to receive.
Against Louisville, the first serve of the match was an ace, and she ended the match with an ace as well. That's off the wall, out of play. I think Bertolino would have run through that ball, or that wall, if she could to retrieve that.
She wanted to keep serving.
Yeah. So they get her off the line fairly quickly with minimal damage. 2-1, Georgia Tech leading Pitt in the second set. Vasquez-Gomez, she answered with an ace in the first set. Mendez targets Klika. Vasquez-Gomez saves it. Bumped over by Stafford. Otene puts it away.
Otene's coming off 16 kills and hit 448 in their last match, so she's got all that momentum and confidence moving forward. She leads her team in kills. You can see here why. That set a little inside, but she's so athletic and dynamic, she got to that ball.
Otene also a player that will be back next year as well. Babcock attacks Bertolino with the dig. She's excellent defensively as well. Fairbanks sets Babcock, and she powers through 2 blockers.
And Babcock is unique in the fact that she's tall, but she's so athletic, so she can speed up her approach, her final 2 steps if that set's a little too low, which it kind of was right there. But it doesn't matter because she's so athletic. She can get her feet to the ball and get a good snap.
4 times this year she's been the ACC Freshman of the Week. Kat Flood into serve now for Pitt. Tech up 1 early in the second. Pitt won the first. It's the best volleyball match in the nation this weekend. The only top 10 matchup on the schedule across the entire country. Just think of how far the ACC has come, Maddie, when Wisconsin-Penn State is not as big a match as Pitt-Georgia Tech.
I mean, how cool is that for the ACC? I know Dan Fisher and Coach Michelle Collier are very, very proud of their teams and how far their entire conference has come.
Yeah, just talking to Dan yesterday, he was gushing over the ACC as much as he was his own team. Otene tries to go into the block, denied. She'll try one more time. Fairbanks settles it. Stafford over the block with a little off speed. This is such a good defensive team, though, Georgia Tech. Wokolo, a lot of tips right now. Otene tries to go down the line and missed.
And that's what happens when the block presence in front of you is so large and massive. Otene trying to swing away from the block, trying to tool the block, but when the block is that big in front of you, it's easier to error because you're uncomfortable. You're trying to do things you're not normally comfortable doing.
Otene is an incredible athlete. She played 4 sports in high school in New Zealand. She's from Auckland. They're tight to the net. Pierce has to bump it over. Wokolo, good dig by Pimentel. Mendez.
And that all started with Pimentel. coach talking before the match said, Pimentel does a lot of what people think is easy really well. So she's got a really good touch on the ball. She keeps the team in system. It's a really clean contact every single time she comes in contact with the ball. And it's a little bit quieter of a game. She's not making the flashiest digs sometimes, but she controls the ball so well, which is what you want out of your libero.
Pimentel now one of only 6 Georgia Tech players to ever cross the 400 dig mark. She's done that tonight. Incredible career. Second in the ACC, top 10 in the nation in digs per set. Served by Suarez. Oh, Babcock, you're just not going to stop that. It's incredible.
I really don't know how you stop that. It's so aggressive, and then she's got so much range. Also, perfect set, but you see there, the middle blocker not getting there to close in time. And when Babcock has a one-on-one situation, she's going to nail it through that seam and get the kill.
She also was put through the pressure serving drills yesterday and today. And how about that? Ice by the freshman. She couldn't have walked it over there any better.
It paid off. That pressure situation drill that they did is paying off. She looks so calm, cool, and collected. Only a freshman, let me remind everybody if you're just tuning in.
They had Bree Calais Jepson on the microphone. People were beating drums, or screaming in each other's faces. And another ace. I mean, Babcock had 29 aces coming into this match. She's already got 2 here.
And to receive a serve like that, you need to move quickly. You only have time for about 1 quick move, and then you need to set up your angle with your platform as fast as possible, and you're passing it almost like you're digging a hard swing.
Pitt has gained the lead now by 3. Mignon errors on the attack, and Pitt now's doubled up the score after a good start by Georgia Tech. Babcock hot from the service line. You know, she's one of those players that you can tell, Maddie, she wants to be in a pressure situation. She, like Billie Jean King said, pressure's a privilege. I think she really lives by that.
I love that quote, and she obviously thrives in these circumstances.
Service error after 2 aces, though. That's a good ratio in this sport.
That's a good ratio. The sport goes for about a 1-to-1, 1 ace to 1 error, but she's above that and better than that right now.
Otene with the jump serve into the net, and quickly Pitt back on the service line. Remember, Georgia Tech came out and stunned Pitt up at Pittsburgh the first time they played by winning those first 2 sets. And obviously Pitt has learned from that. Bertolino into the block, tooled it, block went out of bounds. She remains their most reliable attacker. 5 kills on 7 swings, 0 errors.
And she's gotten a lot of chances to swing because Georgia Tech hasn't really been in system that often. Pitt doing a really good job keeping them out of system and not allowing them to run through their middles. So the pins have been getting a lot of love so far.
Serving specialist Patterson. Patterson very much a leader. You can see that in practice as well. Vasquez Gomez with that wind up. Such a unique attack.
It is really unique. Usually you see both arms go up. That way you get your max jump, but she waits, hangs that arm down a little bit longer, and then brings it up to snap, and I think that makes it harder to read. It's more difficult to block. You don't have as long to read her shoulder.
I bet she can throw a football. I mean, like,
I bet she can launch a football,
yeah.
Yep.
It's just like a quarterback. Oh, that went off the rafters so you can play it. It came down on their side. Michelle Collier is not happy with the way both those players hit the ball at the same time, but the rally goes on. And then finally a double contact called against Georgia Tech, and Michelle Collier letting the officials hear about it.
But in the meantime, Pimentel showing us why she's got 400 digs on the season, just so scrappy. It's like a never say die type of libero, but coach obviously not happy with that call at all.
So there's nothing that's challengeable here, unfortunately, for Michelle Collier. So they will just have to live with the call. But the only asterisk here is that the 2 line judges are talking to the up judge. Now Bertolino, who's the player designated to speak to the up judge, and they've overruled it. Okay. So that is good officiating, because the two line judges went to the up judge and basically talked through the call. So obviously Pimentel got that up, but I think what they were looking at was the ball that went on the other side of the net and hit the rafters because of where it hit.
And usually if it hits the roof at all and it comes back on your side, you can play it. So I am surprised that that got overturned. I'm pretty sure Coach Dan Fisher wants a valid explanation for that.
Well, not the situation you're going to see in every match.
No, I've
you don't
never
have a
seen
lot
that
of
before.
rafter calls, but the funny thing is that they hit it to the other side of the court. It came down off the rafters. And right now the call has stood. Monks terminates.
Last time Monks played Georgia Tech, she had a season-high 11 kills. She does a really good job avoiding the hands of the block, seeing that middle blocker and hitting to the right of it with a quick snap on the ball.
Now this Pitt team very poised. Good response after that call went against them. Bertolino tried to receive that, kept it alive. Mendez went high hands, no hands to touch it, point Pitt.
And that all started with Fairbanks' serve. An aggressive deep float that moves at the last second, forcing Georgia Tech to be uncomfortable, get them out of system, and causing the error.
Pitt still without a hitting error here in the second set. 9 swings, 5 kills, no errors. They're hitting .556 right now in this set alone. Bozy comes in and shakes things up.
And Bozy's one of those players that's been heating up throughout ACC play, coming off a really strong showing at Louisville. Really good job there, painting the back line of the court and avoiding that tall, massive middle block presence in front of her.
She was inserted into the starting lineup in place of Liv Mogridge, who's been out with an injury. Maybe back, however. Vasquez Gomez with just too much heat.
And kudos to Fairbanks there, moving that set around so well, almost from a pin-to-pin situation. And then Vasquez Gomez with that nice long approach, so consistent with that swing.
I think she threw that in for dramatic effect. A little extra tough. Otene into the block. Pimentel called everybody off. Otene didn't get the touch.
That ball a little tight. Otene trying to hit high hands, tool the block. She felt that massive block presence in front of her. Like I said, Pitt defensive nationally is absolutely elite, first in the nation in blocks per set. So she feels that block in front of her.
Listen to the crowd here. Oh, nice swing, but it was denied. Suarez with the attack. Stafford can't get it to go down. Here's Otene. Babcock. Lethal.
That's Babcock's 9th kill, hitting well over 600. So consistent from the freshman in such a big scenario.
Time out on the floor. Pitt working on a 2-0 lead at Georgia Tech. Is that possible?
Liberty Mutual customized my car insurance, and I saved hundreds. With the money I saved, I started a dog walking business. Oh! No, it's just too funny! Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
There's never been a better time to switch to Spectrum, the nation's fastest growing mobile provider. Now, when you buy a Spectrum Mobile Unlimited line for just $29.99, you get another unlimited line free for 12 months. Get a fast connection and reliable coast-to-coast service. And save big with the best deal in mobile. Call 844-677-2999. Spectrum Mobile has the fastest wireless speeds. And Spectrum Mobile gives you the freedom to connect whenever you want. With unlimited talk, text, and data. Plus, nationwide 5G is included. All with no contracts, no added taxes, and no hidden fees. So get a Spectrum Mobile unlimited line for just $29.99 and get another unlimited line free for 12 months. Call 844-677-2999. Visit a local Spectrum store or spectrummobile.com today.
Well, the freshmen have been leading the way for Pitt tonight. A combined 14 kills between Babcock and Stafford. That is more than the entire Georgia Tech team has so far in this match.
Total dominance from Pitt's pins.
Both Californians, their best friends, roommates, inseparable off the court. Vasquez-Gomez hits that back to the net. There's Babcock trying to create something out of system. Otene, roofed. Monks and Babcock, a fortress.
And you see there Monks doing a good job making sure to close that block, getting to the pin and pressing her arms over the net. I've said it before, but Pitt's block is so technically sound. It is obvious they practice it a lot in practice. It's such a dominant part of their game.
Well, a reminder, tomorrow morning, the ACC Huddle crew will kick off the day in Chapel Hill. They'll be at Keenan Memorial Stadium at 11 Eastern with a 60-minute pregame show leading into Boston College against Virginia Tech at noon. They'll also have halftime shows, pre and post-game shows throughout the day, then back at 6:30 Eastern to wrap up the afternoon with highlights and analysis and to get you set for Duke UNC at 8 p.m. And then after that, historic game. They'll stay right here on ACC Network for a complete wrap-up and interviews with players and coaches. What a time of year. College football, college basketball, college volleyball. It is just magical to be a sports fan right now.
If you are a sports fan, you are never bored. There is always something on, always something going on. It's such a fun time to be alive.
Well, Pitt is enjoying unpredicted success so far in this match. We really expected this to be tighter, but the Panthers are making the case that they are getting back to national semifinal form. What a start they've had. However, remember, it was Georgia Tech that had the hot start the first time they played and got reverse swept. So plenty of time for Tech to come back. D'Amico pushes the set up to Suarez. Oh, what a save by Fairbanks. Middle attack, Boese.
It's a great decision to set the middle there. Pitt a little disoriented after that long play. Monks reaching, but just not lining up well in Posey's angle, not able to dive her arms into that seam and take away that kill, and Georgia Tech needed that.
Pimentel serving. Fairbanks, quick set. Monks dug by Pimentel. And a net violation called against Georgia Tech. To look at Pierce, number 1 in white, as Monks goes out of the match. Cap Flood in to serve. Suarez terminates from the right side.
She contacted that ball at such a high point over the net and turned it down the line. See that nice long approach and the quick snap on the ball right in between two defenders. Great swing to get Georgia Tech back to serve.
Vocalo, dug, great dig by Suarez. Otene, dug by Klicka. About the D in this rally. Babcock, off hands, kept up by Bertolino. Babcock, wow. But we saw that trademark Tech defense in that rally at least.
Exactly. We knew there would be long rallies because both teams are so elite defensively. But then Babcock just putting a stop to it, and it's because she's so aggressive with every single swing, has so much power and momentum behind every single attack on the ball.
Babcock, a first-team high school All-American last year. She had her first career high of 19 kills against this Georgia Tech team on October 6th in that classic matchup. Otene had a lot of time, too much power.
Otene absolutely flies through the air, and when that set is quick and to her shoulder, she's able to get a really solid attack on the ball, tooling the block.
She must have incredible coordination, hand-eye coordination. The sports she played in high school, indoor volleyball, beach volleyball, badminton, and netball. You ever seen netball?
No, I haven't, but it sounds fun.
Yeah, it is. A little bit like basketball.
So she's good at net sports.
Yeah, fantastic hand-eye coordination for all those. Stafford terminates from the left pin.
And I've noticed this from Stafford throughout the season. She likes a set a little inside so she can swing away from that middle block. And when it's to her shoulder, she terminates at such a high level.
That was her 6th kill. Babcock leading the match, both teams with 10. Nice serve. Bertolino missed it wide, no touch point Pitt. And Pitt hits the 20-point mark first, prompting Georgia Tech to take a timeout. So again, both these teams tied for first atop the ACC with just 2 losses. Obviously the winner of this match is going to be in sole possession of first for just a little while. But even more importantly, both these teams trying to improve on the postseason resume. Right now, Tech, Louisville, Pitt, and Florida State all tied for first at 12-2. And in fact, every one of these schools is in the top 50 of the RPI right now, which is generally a pretty good barometer of who ends up making the tournament. Here's where their RPIs are. And Louisville Pitt, with RPI that strong, making their case to try to host a regional.
Yeah, the strength of the ACC is at an all-time high this season, which has been really fun throughout all of conference play. Pitt's only 2 losses in ACC play to Louisville in a sweep, and to Florida State, 2-3. Florida State had a fantastic match, and then Georgia Tech's only 2 losses in ACC play to Pitt last time, and then to Miami in a sweep.
Let me give you a little bracket tip if you're filling out an NCAA tournament bracket. Take Florida State. I think they have been underrated all season, and I really believe the Seminoles are going to shock some people in the NCAA tournament this year.
I agree, and not because it's my alma mater, but because I think they're very talented and underrated and have a really solid resume of wins under their belt.
Tori Stafford with 6 kills, 2 digs, and a block. Back to serve. Pitt trying to go up 2-0 on Georgia Tech in this top 10 matchup. Mignong misses. And Georgia Tech has struggled with efficiency tonight. This has been surprising. Typically they are so good in this gym. They're on a 6-match win streak, have not lost since October 15th. And Bertolino picks one back up for Tech.
Bertolino leads her team in kills. She's the go-to right now. She's got 8. You see a nice long approach, tooling the block. It's a pretty sharp swing by her. She's the hot hands right now, hitting 700, so a standout performance right now for Bertolino.
Yeah, the team is at 0 right now hitting. Wokolo.
And when Pitt is in system and they're able to run through their middles, they are so efficient. Wokolo, 3rd in the nation in hitting percentage, hitting throughout the entire season at .449. Those numbers are so high, so when they're in system and they run through their middles, they've been very terminal.
Suarez takes it off the net to Bertolino. Wokolo got a hand on it. Stafford almost dove into the crowd to save that. And it ends up being Georgia Tech's point by virtue of the double contact, but fantastic hustle here in pursuit.
I love plays like that. And you always want it to go your way, of course, but even if it doesn't, you're showing your coach how much you care. You're showing your team you're willing to throw your body all around the court for them. It's a good attribute to have, even if you don't get the point.
And that's showing the other team as well. Just how hard you're going to go after every ball. Babcock, back row attack. Oh. I mean, she is an instant highlight film. Very rarely does she have a kill that you don't want to replay.
Exactly, and it's because she flies through the air. She is so athletic and springy. Her approach is so quick, and then she just flies in and snaps. I think every single one of her hits could be on a highlight reel.
11 kills, 0 errors on 17 swings. Those are Babcock's numbers. Bertolino tools the block, point Georgia Tech.
And that was really good by Bertolino. That set a little high, so she had to slow down her approach and then wait to jump, but she has so much power and strength in that arm of hers.
Good serve. Dug by Bertolino. Babcock couldn't get it to go down. Still no errors, though. And there's the block by Pitt. As Pitt now with set point.
Monks leads her team in blocks. Came into this game at 117 blocks, and it's because she's so tall, technically sound, such a good job getting to every single ball and pressing her hands over the net.
Point Georgia Tech, courtesy of Leah Harper. Well, that one is, but they will have to win 3 straight sets. Ella Suarez serves to start this 3rd set. Babcock wanted it, got it, finished it.
And Fairbanks is so elite as a setter, pin to pin, keeping her body behind that ball, pushing it all the way to Babcock's shoulder.
Oh, that was great. Babcock looked at Fairbanks and gave her 2 thumbs up for that set. It's like a jump shooter thanking the point guard for the pass.
Yep, giving credit where credit is due.
Vasquez Gomez with the serve. Suarez to Mendez. Little miscommunication there, but somehow Monks got it over. Otene. And Pitt struggling, went under the net, point Georgia Tech.
And if you're Georgia Tech, you want to strike fast and often. You need to regain some of that confidence back on your side.
Otene back to serve, jump serve into the net. And that's just the one area that is such a huge intangible for Tech that has not gotten on track, that serve. They can be so damaging when they serve well.
Yep, that's one of the reasons they were able to defeat number 3 Louisville. Bertolino with those 7 aces.
Flood back to serve. Flood had some pressure serves come through last year against Wisconsin in the regional. And Bertolino, she has been the most consistent offensive performer for Tech tonight.
Bertolino waited on that approach, so she had a lot of speed coming into it, and she loves that deep corner. It's been really effective so far for her.
Bertolino, the first Georgia Tech player with 10 kills. Babcock has 12 for Pitt. That's an ace. That's more like it. Pimentel rips the ace, her 22nd of the season.
Pimentel is such a leader on this team defensively, and right now behind the service line, Georgia Tech needs as much of that as they can get.
And 5-6. Babcock targets Otene. Point Pitt. That was her 20th swing, Maddie. 0 errors.
I mean, so elite for being so young.
12 kills for Babcock off of those 20 errorless swings. Well, she went for it. You got to give her that.
Yes, she did. And I think it is important to note that if Pitt gets the sweep, that would be their 11th in ACC play. That is a bunch of sweeps in ACC play. Let's see if Georgia Tech can fight back.
All right, you're feeling that good? You're already calling a sweep here?
No, I just thought it was an interesting fact. 10 so far in ACC play.
Bertolino, little stare down after that block as well.
We talked
There was
about
a smile.
Bertolino. Yeah, she's all business in practice, warming up. We didn't see a single smile. There we see one. Let's see if she starts to heat up.
Yeah, she's intense. Mendez serving. Must-win set for Tech. And Babcock, give me the ball.
Babcock can get a kill from every single area of the court, it seems like. Right here, running through the middle. And that ball is coming at such a sharp trajectory straight down. It's because she jumps so high and she contacts that ball at such a high point over the net, back row and front row.
Well, Georgia Tech is challenging that last attack. Here's the play. Babcock, she definitely left behind the line.
Yeah, I think the only thing they would be challenging is if her foot was over the 10-foot line, but it wasn't.
Nope. That was an easy one. So the call stands. Georgia Tech loses a challenge. You get 2 challenges. Only way you get an additional one is if you are able to get to a 5th set, which is what Georgia Tech has to do to win this match. Suarez off the slide to Pierce. And the national champion last year at Texas, this year in a Georgia Tech uniform, Pierce gets the kill.
And this is how Georgia Tech is going to come back and is going to heat up, staying in system and then running through their middles. Coach said when their middles play at a high level, we are better. And we saw right there that that's what happened.
Bertolino with the serve. Fairbanks kept it alive. Fairbanks setting Babcock. Babcock with the error. That is her first hitting error of the entire match. A must-win set for Tech. They're looking good so far here to start the third, 7-4. And Bertolino, that serve is warming up. Ace. A lot of fans have the ace card holding up in the stands. They were waiting on this one.
And Bertolino, it's almost like a swing, how aggressive and powerful it is, just painting that back line.
2 aces so far. Vasquez Gomez. Ball still alive. Almost hit the rafters. Vasquez Gomez again. Nice dig by Bertolino. Otene. Stafford. And whistle blew. Point is going to be awarded to Pitt.
I think that they were calling someone in the net. It was a really long rally, really elite, high-level plays on both sides of the net.
So 3-point for Pitt. Lokolo will be behind the service line, the future prosecutor. Otene denied. She'll try again. Hit hands.
Otene is so aggressive with the swing, really working hard to transition off the net quickly so she can have a full approach in front of her, tooling the high hands. Georgia Tech now up by 4.
Bertolino's had the most kills for Georgia Tech, but Otene's had the most swings. 28 attacks tonight. Just 3 kills. She has not gotten on track, but that's a good start. Fairbanks with a dump, gets the kill. You gotta watch for that when you play Rachel Fairbanks.
Yeah, that was her 49th kill of the season. She's very offensive-minded as a setter and really aggressive with it, catching Georgia Tech's middle block off guard. If you're the blocker, you really want to jump and be ready for that, but Fairbanks disguises it so well and mixes it in so well to her offense.
She had 5 kills against Tech in the first meeting. That was tight to the net. And it is Tech that wins the rally.
And that's Eloise Suarez saying, all right, you can do it? Well, I can do it too, and I can do it behind my head. Just a freshman, but she competed on the Brazilian youth beach team, so she's got really good court awareness, good ball control.
And Coach Collier saying she may eventually be an Olympian one day. That's a double contact on Pitt. They're not happy with the call, but it was Dan Fisher is complaining to the official. Let's see. Here's the play. Now was Otene. Call's going to stand. You cannot challenge the double contact. But that set by Fairbanks, they ruled, didn't come out clean. It's an unusual call on a setter as elite as Fairbanks, and that's the way to respond. Monks with the kill off the set from Fairbanks.
Monks loves to run that 3-set super quick, and then Bosie just laid on that block. Monks powering it through her arms. You know, last time they played, she had a season high 11 kills versus Georgia Tech, so she's got a good bearing on Georgia Tech's block.
4 kills, 4 swings for Monks. Otene! Check the ball for air.
And that's what happens when Otene has all her power momentum moving forward and there's a gap in the block. Monks not able to close that block, and Otene powering through that seam.
Georgia Tech leading by 5 in this must-win set. Pitt up 2-0. Stafford will take it.
Stafford is so calm and collected as a pin hitter. That set pretty high, so she had to slow down her approach, and she's hitting around the 10-foot line, but she knew she didn't want to err, so she took a little bit off that swing, almost like a roll shot, and tooled the block.
Stafford was a gold medalist with the U19 team at the Pan Am Games. A lot of these Pitt players with Team USA experience. Berlino chases that set. Point Pitt.
And that was a little bit of a trap set. Pitt's block all over that, just sealing like a wall. There was nowhere for Bertolino to go on that.
That conversation started with Dan Fisher congratulating the official on the right call, but continued. Flood with the serve. Bertolino off hands, gets the kill. Best set so far by Georgia Tech, and it has to be.
And that's Bertolino's 11th kill, leading her team, doing a really good job tooling off the long arms of Wokolo.
Georgia Tech has struggled to maintain momentum. Babcock in to serve. Closes her eyes and takes deep breaths. Rocket. Good receive by Otene. Fairbanks setting Stafford. Otene with a dig. This has got to go over. Stafford tools the block, point Pitt, and Pitt is within 2.
And we have to give credit to Otene throughout that rally. 2 really solid digs. But it doesn't matter when you have Stafford at the pin, tooling the block, hitting high off those hands.
Timeout, Georgia Tech. Pitt within 2. A must-win set for Tech.
We're supposed to meet our new baby granddaughter for the first time.
Our TV camera stopped working.
We'll take care of it.
She's precious.
Oh, thanks, guys.
No more malarkey. Call Mr. Sparky.
Go get the money, go get the money. Go get the money, go get the money. Yeah. Go get the money, go get the money. Go get the money, go get the money. Yeah. Go get the money, go get the money.
With thousands of wins every day, what will you do with your win?
Go get the money.
Another power outage. You guys okay?
When the power goes down, Bob powers up.
Just finished installing your new generator and everything's running great. He likes to do it all himself, huh?
No more malarkey. Call Mr. Sparky.
Well, Otene has been the difference maker for Georgia Tech in this must-win set. She's been on fire this set with 4 kills.
And Otene doing a lot of work on defense as well, just as a lead in defense as she is on offense. Coming into the game with 280 digs.
Otene had 0 kills coming into this set. Babcock, who, by the way, in that timeout, they took away her hitting error, so technically she still has no errors hitting. And there's Mendez siding out for Georgia Tech.
And we've seen Mendez just be a little quieter this match, but I would definitely expect her to start to make an impact. She's just a freshman, but she trained in Brazil before this with Olympians, so she's accustomed to a professional environment and playing at a high level.
Yeah, she was on one of the top teams in Brazil before coming to the United States for college. Fairbanks tried to dump again. Tech was ready for it. And a net violation against Pitt. Wokolo got into the net. Point is awarded to Georgia Tech as they try to keep the floor dry.
And before that was a fantastic dig by Pimentel, just controlling that dump by Fairbanks. She saw it coming and she controlled it nicely.
Well, it was a nice run for Tech out of the timeout. They built the lead up to 3. They picked up 1 since that timeout. And Lauren Sandin is in the match for the first time for Georgia Tech, number 4 in white there, the sophomore from Ashburn, Virginia. Michelle Collier is not a coach that uses a lot of subs. Bertolino targets Stafford. Vasquez Gomez pushes it deep. Good save by Otene. Bertolino.
Otene keeping the play alive, running that ball down the line. So scrappy on defense, and then Bertolino coming in and powering through to get the kill. Otene doing a lot of work defensively.
Bertolino misses the serve, 16-13. Well, it's interesting, Georgia Tech is hitting .444 in this set. It's been their best set so far. But Pitt's level has stayed high the whole match. They're at .438 this set. Both teams with only 1 hitting error. And into the match to serve Dylan Griffin, sophomore from Foothill Ranch, California. They bring her in to serve a lot. Lefty. Suarez setting Otene. Still alive. This has got to go over. Vasquez Gomez tools the block for an out-of-system kill.
Coach Fisher describes Vasquez Gomez as the most well-rounded player on their team, really solid in every single aspect of her game.
Future pro. Her dad played professional basketball in Puerto Rico. Another good serve. Overpass. Crushed by Fairbanks. But how about Dylan Griffin behind the service line?
It's a nice flat float serve, creating some chaos on Georgia Tech's side of the net. You know, it always feels good to ace a libero. They're going after Pimentel right now, targeting her on the serve.
Fairbanks 2 kills tonight. Pitt within 1. They can sweep Georgia Tech if they can win this match in this top 10 battle. Another good serve by Griffin. Off the bench, cold. She's delivered 3 excellent serves, and she'll get a 4th.
It's no wonder why Pitt is ranked nationally with their block. Their presence is so big up there. The timing is on point. Both blockers up in the air at the same time, pressing their arms over the net. Their spacing from the net is perfect, creating a wall.
Monks is 6'4", number 9 in yellow. Fairbanks, the setter, is 6 foot. And an ace from Griffin.
That serve coming at such a fast pace, super flat, and then dying at the last second.
Boy, what a substitution. Dylan Griffin off the bench has given Pitt the lead. Serves it at Otene. Otene went for hands, didn't get them, and Pitt is up 2 in this must-win set for Georgia Tech.
And right here, they're serving Otene because she has to run up and attack, so they're trying to get her off the net. And right there, it paid off, causing the error.
They need to get Griffin off the service line. Another ace. She had 2 aces the entire season, and she's doubled it in this serving run. And that's the only way you're going to cool her off. Take a timeout. Wow, I think Dylan Griffin's going to get a game ball if they win this match.
I think she should, and look at her teammates pumping her up, congratulating her. You know, you come off the bench, you're a little cold, but she came in not acting like she was cold at all, with all the confidence in the world, just popping in some nice flat float serves.
She'll be back on the service line after this timeout. She has brought Pitt from behind to ahead here in this 3rd set. Griffin, just a sophomore. They expect big things from her. Talking about her today in serve and pass. And so we'll see how Pitt takes advantage of this as they look for a surprising sweep against Georgia Tech, though. The way these two teams are, we may be here another hour and a half.
Exactly. If Georgia Tech can get her off the service line, get some momentum back on their side, Coach Collier called that timeout to hopefully ice the server.
Bertolino leading this timeout. She's been the leader on the floor as well. Her 13 kills have matched the entire total of her teammates in this match. She's been the one standout performer so far. And Dylan Griffin remains on the service line. Serves it at Pimentel. Otene. Babcock behind the line, kept alive, still going. Vasquez Gomez couldn't put it away. Monks does, though.
Pitt's ability to stay in system and calm when the play goes a little crazy and a little wild like that is so elite. Look at these really scrappy ups. But then Pitt, Stafford controls the first contact. Fairbanks with a really quick set, and then Monks finishing it with 5 kills. Perfect on the night.
Career high hitting percentage right now because it's perfect. 5 swings, 5 kills for Monks. And the whistle, Tech was in the net. Point will go to Pitt, and Pitt extends the lead. Mignon will come in off the bench, so will D'Amico.
Sometimes when you sub in new players, new faces, it creates a new energy. Each player brings a new energy to the court, so I think that's what Coach Collier is hoping to do right now.
And that's what Pitt did when they brought in Griffin to serve. She's still back there. And finally, the serving run of Dylan Griffin comes to a close, but she may be responsible for giving Pitt the win in this 3rd set. That was a heck of an effort off the bench, absolutely cold.
I mean, so impressive. Came in like she had been playing all match. You know Georgia Tech is happy to have her off the service line.
Kat Flood came in there embracing her. She's also one of the most clutch servers Pitt has. Patterson will serve for Tech. They need some points. Fairbanks setting Babcock. And that is terminal. Wow.
That's Babcock's 15th kill. Last time they faced off, she had a career high 19. She's got 15 in only 3 sets here. Leaping over that 10-foot line.
She's so good, they took the only hitting error away from her. So now she has 0. Statistician said, I can't mess this up. I got to take the error away. Mignon terminates for Tech. They need a rally in a hurry. Down 4, deep in this 3rd set.
Mignon is one of those type of players that can come in and turn it around. She's got a lot of power behind each swing. And versus Louisville, she stepped up big with those 9 kills.
Suarez serving. ACC Freshman of the Week this week. Fairbanks to Monks.
When Pitt is in system, they are hard to stop.
Monks 6 for 6.
Perfect on the night. The block not able to dive their arms into the seam and take away that swing from Monks.
Overpass. And that'll be Pitt's point, and a match point comes with it. The Pitt Panthers were behind in this set, and a service run by Dylan Griffin put them ahead, and they have not lost that lead. It is match point Pitt. Suarez setting Otene, and Otene keeps Tech alive for 1 more point.
I think I can say it now. If Pitt completes the sweep, this will be their 11th sweep in ACC play.
It remains match point. Fairbanks to Stafford, it's over. The Pitt Panthers shock the nation as they roll into Atlanta and sweep Georgia Tech.